Joining us now, former Senator Cory Bernardi in Adelaide, and in Sydney, James Morrow, opinions editor for the Daily Telegraph and co-host Sky News Outsiders. Cory, I'll start with you. What did you make of the cavalcade of big speeches today? Hillary Clinton, President Obama, and of course Harris.
Well, Peter, I did watch them all and I was appalled, quite frankly. I think they should have all started with a big warning. I didn't write the words I'm about to say. I know they're completely untrue, but somehow I wish they were, but I'll have to check with the pollsters. It was so phony, so false, a reinvention of history. I mean, how dare Barack Obama tell us that misusing the Oval Office when he had his enemies hunted by the IRS? What about Bill Clinton telling us that there was no respect for the Oval Office when he turned it into his own personal bordello? This is appalling stuff. But the Democrats are getting away with it from a compliant media in the US. And I still think Trump's going to win, though, Peter.
I have to say, James, I did have that same view on Bill Clinton. I thought a moral lecture from Bill Clinton. I mean, has it really come to this?
I mean, the head absolutely spins. Look, I mean, Cory's right. This is a horror. This whole convention is a disaster. It's it's like the world's worst Zoom meeting combined with the world's worst late night infomercial, and there's not even a free set of steak knives if you act now. But the thing is, to have Bill Clinton, of all people, talk about morality in the Oval Office, what sort of bizarro world are we in here? To have Barack Obama say, oh, well, all the problems with racism in the United States now, and everyone's thinking, I've had so many people come up to me today and say, he was president for 8 years. He got reelected to a second term. Why didn't maybe he do something about all this terrible racism that's only suddenly come up? So, no, it's just been an absolute snooze fest. People aren't tuning in, so really they're just relying on what they're hearing on the media. But I think what the media is telling them is just this whole thing is snoozy, even as much as they try and big it up.
Yeah, I was watching it like you were, Cory, and I was scrolling through all the various Twitter feeds of outrage. And of course, I saw what Donald Trump was tweeting in caps, but when he was never going to lay low during the convention. And I looked around at a few political ads over the last few days to put on the show tonight. I played one at the top of the program from Trump's campaign, which I think did such a good job about exposing the mental fitness of Biden. But there's another really good one. We've got here that I want to play. Republican candidate Kim Klacik. She's running for the Congress. She's coming out of Baltimore. Let's have a listen.
Do you care about Black lives? The people that run Baltimore don't. I can prove it. Walk with me. They don't want you to see this. I'm Kim Klacik. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This is the reality for Black people every single day. Crumbling infrastructure, abandoned homes, poverty, and crime. Baltimore has been run by the Democrat Party for 53 years.
What are you going to defund the police for? Why? How do you defend your city, your community? Families are losing people.
It's not just Baltimore. The worst place for a Black person to live in America is a Democrat-controlled city. It's 2020. Name a blue city where Black people's lives have gotten better. Try. I'll wait.
She doesn't miss, Cory. She doesn't miss.
No, straight in the bullseye, and it resonated with people like me. I showed it to some younger people today and they thought it was fantastic as well. And it reinforces what I was told 4 years ago when I was there for that US presidential election. A lot of Black people feel taken for granted by the Democratic Party. And it wouldn't surprise me if once you get through this Black Lives Matter protest and the Marxism and everything else, a lot of Black people go, Donald Trump gets us. He was helping us to get jobs, to get on our feet, to make America great again. We're going to vote for him.
And James, too, in New York, I think the story of New York City and all the travails it's in now, I think that will play into the campaign. A lot of Americans love New York. They love to visit New York, but it's not the New York that they used to know right in the middle of things now.
No, exactly right, Peter. I mean, New York is it's not the capital of the United States, but in many ways, in many people's eyes, it's the capital of the world. It's this world center of culture, art, finance, everything. And what's happening to us is absolutely heartbreaking. There's gunshots now breaking out every night in the streets of Midtown Manhattan. Why? Because the Democrat mayor has put homeless people into all the hotels around there, and they've wound up turning them into shooting galleries, essentially, for both drugs and drug dealers fighting for turf. Yes, some people say, oh, well, the life is still around because people are eating on the streets and things like this. But no, it's a shell of what it was. And people who used to support the city, all the people who did banking and finance and law and all of that, they're all leaving. So the tax base is gone. I don't know how the city recovers. But back on Kim Place, she was great because she's got 7 million views on that. She's cut around all of the media, too, which again goes back to that point about the convention.
Good campaign ads always work. Cory, just quickly got to go, but a Chinese mining company, we're told in PNG, is claiming to have immunised its employees, presumably PNG locals, against COVID-19. Now, we haven't got a vaccine. This looks like a trial. That's a big ethical issue.
Look, this is just a totalitarian state experimenting on people. You might as well go to Russia and get a vaccine as well as go to China and be tested. It's crazy. Peter, put your trust in mainstream medicine in Western countries.
All right, gentlemen, got to leave it there. Cory Bernardi, James Morrow, as always on a Thursday, thank you for your analysis.